Hmm. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mystical Mistakes Live TV. I just had a little issue there in the beginning. The live part froze on me, and then I look like a bit of a goose, I guess. But that's okay. We're here now. It's all good. For those of you who don't know me, I'm just going to wait for people to join. For those who don't know me, my name is Ms Tique. I'm a psychic medium clairvoyant. I direct spirit communicator. I'm a holistic counsellor. I am a spiritual healer. I'm a psychotherapist. I am a natural born psychic. I started talking to spirits when I was 3 years of age. So I know there's a few that jump on board that know me very well. And there's obviously, of course, ones that are here for the first time. And I welcome any new viewers tonight. And I have to apologise for the glare on my glasses. I don't know what's going on. But I spent half an hour, couldn't fix it. So it is the way it is. So you're going to have to bear with that part tonight. Just a bit of housekeeping up front. I do ask people if they can like and share the live feed either to their own page or to any groups that they may belong to. And I'm just going to do that with mine as I wait for more people to join. So I do welcome everybody aboard tonight. It's Tuesday evening. It is the 12th of January already. We're already 12 days in. How's everyone going with the continual talk of COVID? People obviously are struggling with a few things that are going on. We certainly had the lockdown over Christmas and New Year, which made for a very, very different. Excuse me while I have my head down, while I'm sharing my own feed to a few groups, which is what I ask everybody to do as well. That way we can get, as I always say, that way we can get more people, that come on board and end up, whether they ask for a reading or not, or whether they're chosen for a reading or not. It's more about getting the word out there, because sometimes when you do a reading for someone, whether you're connecting with a spirit or if you're just, watching and not necessarily having your question answered, some things that I say to other people actually resonate with you. So please don't ever get offended if I don't, or if yourself doesn't get chosen for a reading here live, because it is very random. If you like and share the feed, of course, there's a greater chance of getting a reading, because it comes up on the feed that you've actually shared it, which is awesome to get that word out there to a few people. So I've shared mine to about 5 different groups now. So again, welcome everybody. I'm just going to go to down and see who I've got. Hello Melissa, hello Vicky, hello Gavin. Gavin, I think you're quite new. Shireen, good evening. Helen, Deborah, Silverly, Melissa, again, okay, liked and shared. Okay, Kim, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, how are you feeling? Poor, like I had a fall and she thought she'd broken a whole lot of bones. So, Lisa, as I said in my message to you yesterday, sending you much love and, of course, loving and healing energy to get you back up and running very quickly. Helen, good evening. Anne, good evening. Susie, Kim, again, Renee, Kira. Kira's, you're a YouTube follower. That's nice. We've got some YouTubers on. That's awesome. Lola. Oh, Mr. Craig Seller. Hello. I don't think you've ever joined me, Mr. Craig. It's interesting. Tell your family. Get them all on board. It's all very good. Good evening, David. Good evening, Tasha. For those of you who have asked, asked if I'm well and going okay, yes, I am. Going okay. Thank you very much. And let's just maybe start the ball rolling. I think. Craig's still lurking. Yeah, get your family on board. Come on. Craig is wonderful. Big shout out to Jules today from Jules Hair Design in DY. Cut my mop because it just got way out of control and it was just looking a bit crazy. So big shout out to her. I understand because Anne, your name come up in conversation today as well. Jules has been a big fan for a very long time, and when I walked in the door, she's kind of looking at me going, do I know you? Do I not know you? Who are you? And then she realized who I was and where she knows me from, and yeah, sometimes she doesn't get to the live feeds because she's working. She works very hard. Another Northern Beaches Local Business Award winner, so congratulations to her. Congratulations also to, and a big hello and a big shout out to everybody who's watching from Northern Beaches Council as well. You might see my face a bit more regular there for many, many reasons. So a big shout out to you guys as well. Okay, enough of the sharing, not necessarily enough of the sharing, but, enough of me talking about general stuff. So I think we've got a few on board now, which is fabulous. It's only like 6 minutes in and you're all joining, which is wonderful. Again, as I say, spread the word as often as you can because, the more people we can help, the more beneficial it is for everybody. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I'm probably only going to say this the very last time tonight. If you don't get a reading tonight, please don't be upset with me because I can only see about 4 comments on the screen at one point in time. So don't ever get concerned if I don't get to you. I am here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. and I'm also here every Thursday now at midday. So, eventually I'll get there. If your question is very, very pressing or very, very personal and it requires more of an in-depth response and more in-depth about you and where you're traveling at the moment and why certain things are happening to you, then I do suggest that you book in for an actual full reading so we can work out what's going on, how's it going wrong, why is it affecting you, and we're able to move it forward in that sense as well, because there's a lot of people that get stuck and think they're stuck on one thing in life, but when they come to see me, I unravel a whole lot more, and they're just surprised that I can pick up things from, childhood and all sorts of things, which are kind of blocking them in the meantime. I will also say, hello, Julie. Hello, Andrew, Samantha, Anna. You're all jumping on now. Queen Bean. Hello, another YouTube person. I'm hoping we don't get any trolls tonight. I have blocked a couple of countries where I was finding that those trolls were coming through from. So yeah, I have done that on Facebook's advice, and of course, a couple of my viewers have also invited me to let me know, where all that sort of rubbish comes from. So I hope we don't get any, but if we do, please understand that I, Ms Tique, work on my own. So if anybody messages you back on your comments tonight that actually say inbox me for a reading, or I'm drawn to you, inbox me, they are trolls. And when you do that, when you click on them, they will instantly start asking you for money. So I will warn you about that now, but hopefully I have actually fixed the problem. But as I said, with only seeing 4 comments, if you guys see one, my regulars are probably very good at, bouncing in or even private texting me saying, hey, you got a troll, because they know I can't see everything at once. Okay. So I generally sort of go in order and jump down every so often just to see what's what. So yeah, so let's Tuesday night, 12th of January. Let's kick this off. And I do thank you all for joining. Okay, Vicky, any messages from your daddy, please? Well, little Miss Vicky. I'm not sure if you're actually going to like what I've got to say, to be quite honest, because, and you know me, and you also know that I say everything with the greatest respect. But there seems to be, and you're really good at unheveling blockages, but there seems to be, you seem to sort of like hit a brick wall on something, and Dad sort of says to me, come on, you can normally get past it, you can normally climb over it. There is something that is blocking your way in seeing the good in something that's happened, which is a little bit strange, as I said, because you're a person who actually, if somebody throws you a blockage, you will fight tooth and nail. You're like a dog with a bone, which people call that, people have that saying to me because, excuse me, because when I know I'm right on something, if I doubt myself in something, I will resource it until I, have all the answers in front of me. But if I back myself 100% and I know I'm on the right path and I know I have the knowledge, and if someone tells me I'm wrong, I will be like that dog with the bone as well. But it seems to be, you seem to be going on this, what it shows me when I say flatline, it's like things are kind of been going along, and it's all been going along very nicely. But then all of a sudden, okay, sorry, I just had to. Spirit is very active because they just from one of the shelves behind me, they just bounced a crystal in my back, and yet I've got a chair. Oh my goodness. Anyway, clearly Spirit is very active tonight, which is good. That's good for a lot of you guys. So, Vicky, back to you. This brick wall. I know you've got the strength to climb it and move past it, but I don't want you to, whoever's behind that brick wall, I don't want you to carry on the anger. Okay, Dad is virtually saying, come on, you go on this even path, and all of a sudden you hit something, and then all of a sudden you get past it, and then you bounce back, and you don't hold any grudges and all this sort of stuff. But there seems to be something in the mix where you're a little bit angry, and you're a little bit angry with a particular person. My advice from Dad is cut the anger. If I can, I hope anyone doesn't get offended, but I have to say as I hear it, because in his language, it's like cut the bullshit. Sorry if you're offended by the language, but that's exactly what he said. So you know how to do that. Move past it. Stop hanging on to it. I know you can do that. Okay, Vicky, let me know how that resonates, because Dad was very strong with saying cut the bullshit. So someone is, yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully, well, I hope you know what I'm talking about. So let me know. Shireen, I can see that you've just said anything for you. Can you please ask a specific question? Because doing lives, I don't have a lot of time to be looking at the scope of everything altogether. If you know what I mean. Otherwise, a general. If you're asking for a general with all little bits of your life, then it's time to book in for a reading on a lot of things in your life. So if you can come back to me with an actual question, that'd be fabulous. Helen, a bit the same. You're asking for a love. Would love a card reading. I don't do a full spread here, sweetheart. Just come back and ask me a question, and I will get to you. Okay. So Vali, you're the same. Please, everybody, and I say this with the greatest respect. Just hit me with a question. I know everybody would love a reading, and if everybody wanted a full reading, well, then you guys would all book in. Do you know what I mean? On here, specific questions. If there's something troubling you, or if you want to, if you want a direct answer on something, now is the time. Yeah, and I'm sure that people who know me very well also know very much how I say everything with the greatest respect. I understand that totally. I call a spade and have been waiting for that person to contact me and wondering if I should now message this person. So on Daddy's advice. Vicky, thank you. Awesome. I had a feeling you'd know what he was saying, because he was very sharp and unusual in a way for Dad to say that, yeah. But yeah, thank you. Okay. Kim, my daughter lost her baby girl in 2018. Will my daughter have another baby girl? And is there anything from my granddaughter? Okay. Kim, rather deep and personal, but that's okay. And I'm sorry that your daughter, and for you that you've lost a granddaughter, as well as your daughter losing her own. That can be. It's a very touchy subject in some. What I want to say to you, with the greatest respect, and I have to keep saying that because sometimes people don't think that I'm saying it with heart, but I'm hearing, and I have to be very clear. What I'm hearing is, I don't know if you can validate this, is I'm okay. My heart wasn't right. I wouldn't have survived. The world is big. The world is brave. People could have stepped in to help, but I would be in pain. Okay. So with that, I want to say to you that your granddaughter, very, very, very tiny, but already knows and can speak like an adult, and actually let me know that there was a problem with her heart. As I said, I don't know whether you can validate that or not, but they're saying it was not functioning, and as personal as this might sound, as well, and you've asked the question, so I guess you're happy with it being, on a live forum. It's almost like it's stopped part of her growing. And again, I don't know if you can validate that or if your daughter can, but to me, it was never going to, it was in her life, if she was actually in this realm. And it's quite, I feel torn both ways. I feel sad that she's gone, but what she's saying to me, and what I want to embrace, and what I want to bring forward to you, is that she wouldn't have been here for long, and the whole time that she would have been here for, she would have been in pain, and nobody could have helped that, no matter how good the medical teams are. She already knows that somebody was on her side, already trying to give your daughter advice, and it just wasn't going to work. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's that's what I hear, and that's what I have to pass on. However, her message to you is, don't be sad that I'm not here, because you'd be sadder, and with respect, you would be sadder, as would your daughter be sadder, if she was here, because you would constantly see the struggle, you would constantly see the pain, and that's not what this little one wants for you. This little one wants to cherish your heart. She's saying that you have a big heart, and she knows if her heart formed properly, that she would have that beautiful big heart, with her, which she has in a way anyway, because she's in spirit world, and her heart is huge. But please know that everything is fine, and please know that she's not angry with anybody. It's nobody's fault. It's just something that happened, and yeah, she wishes you and your daughter, that are okay with it, and now can understand. And if you look at her picture, or some sort of picture that is in. Okay, I'm being shown there's one in the kitchen on the fridge, or something. There's something on the fridge that she's directing me to, and there's also one in the bedroom. But the one in the bedroom is smaller, and in like a smaller, I don't know whether it's a heart-shaped frame or a flower-shaped frame, but yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Kim, I hope that helps, and I hope you find comfort in that. But I also hope that either yourself or your daughter can validate that. That'd be wonderful. Alrighty, thank you so much. Okay. Yes, and we're all out of lockdown. Thank God. Bit bizarre. Anyway, it is what it is. Lola, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Lisa, I'm so glad there was no broken bones. However, I know that you're very sore, and it will heal. And one thing I am hearing, which I need to say, is please allow it to heal, because you're a bit of a go-getter. Oh, that glare is driving me mad. It must be driving you guys mad too. You're a bit of a go-getter and on the go every day. Please give it time to heal. Don't be the martyr. Okay. Renee, wondering if my dog Bonnie is in a lot of pain with cancer. Okay. 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 What I want to say to you is, I wouldn't call it pain as such. I do believe, also too, can you just also clarify if you have another dog in spirit? Because I seem to have, pardon the pun, but I seem to have a party of animals that all of a sudden just joined. But one in particular has put their snout forward, a smaller white. It's not really all white because there's a little bit of ginger in it. Other dog. So I'm because they're putting their snout forward. I want to say to you, it's a dog that you've had in the past as well. But that dog's sort of coming in to virtually saying, you're taking great care. And what are the what bizarre, but let's go there. What are the white tablets that you try and crush up? But dog is smarter. Bonnie is a lot smarter than that. Understands though that she has to take them, but stop being silly about it. Stop trying to hide it when she knows what it is. But also too, pain levels and what I want to say is, I'm not sure if you have a pool because I'm being shown a pool, but getting Bonnie in there and using all four legs, and even if has a break, and I don't know, I mean, it sounds, well, I'm not going to say it sounds weird because I know a lot of people probably do it. Put her on like one of those little floaty things, so give her a break every so often, but keep her in the water. Doing all the movements in the water will ease her a hell of a lot, almost like an adult. You know how an adult has like, a bad back or stiff legs, or me, for instance, larger than life that, doesn't swim as such. Walking in water, kind of the pressure, you don't really feel it. But I from what I'm getting is that releases a whole lot and she'll feel a whole lot better. So if you're not the one with the pool, there is somebody associated with you that has a pool. You either go there often, or it's because they're not showing me like a beach pool. They're showing me like a proper backyard pool. So if it's yours, great, get her in there as often as you can. But if it's not yours, you need to visit more often, just so she can feel what I get told, feel freer, and alleviates a lot of it. But I'm also told that I'm getting shown the right hip. It's like you rub her right hip like every night. Sits on your lap, and although it'd be big for your lap, but you know what I mean. And you rub. That does her the world of good. So I hope that helps you. And yeah, let me know. That would be good. Okay, I'm just making sure that we don't have any little drama people here. Okay. Yes, Lisa, you were going to say I had a haircut. Courtesy of Jules at DY. Okay. Tasha, I'm coming to you. I'd love to know if my brother has a message for me, please, or anything about my business. If you're drawn to me, thank you. Okay. First thing, actually, where I want to go with you in the first instance is, and yet, please, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. But I'm being shown that your brother was a bit of an instigator about your business. He seems to know a lot about it, but unfortunately, not there now to help you get on your way as such, or help you expand. The word expand seems to be jumping in my head, and so I don't know whether through COVID or the beginning of COVID you thought about doing that, and then all of a sudden there was a big stop to it. Because of COVID and all the restrictions and all that sort of stuff, it played havoc with your mind, but it also played havoc with you trying to get the finances together to expand. I'm being shown now it's time to expand. It's time to, stop with the what ifs. The more you're what ifing, the more you're holding yourself back, and you're actually finding excuses to not jump. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense to you. And I'm not being horrible when I'm saying, you're finding excuses. It's more about when we've already had those excuses in the beginning of COVID and no money and what do I do? And I've got to cut staff, or I've got to, reduce hours. I've got to do all this. Then we've now become in a world where we're a little bit scared to take that leap of faith. And I'm being shown, please take that leap of faith. And there's a connection with your brother who also, with respect, there's also something that connects with him with this leap of faith. I particularly want to touch on the subject of his leap of faith because I think it was a little bit different to how the meaning really is with that sort of stuff. So, I have to be very respectful there as well. But I also want to say to you too that when you were younger, and I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing with him, because when you were younger, my goodness, you two are rascals. It was it was, to me, I'm being shown like two little munchkins, and I don't know where the fuzzy hair comes into it, but like that, tight fuzzy hair, just running around a garden, just running amok. There's hoses, there's a couple of animals, and there's also like, you stomping on mum's flowers. So I'm getting told, that they were all the fun things, and fun things are always meant to be. Don't ever think of him in a in a way that's he's saying the word harsh. So I don't know if towards the end you had some harsh words with one another, because he's saying, you don't have to be harsh because I'm okay. And I want to remember all the fun. You need to start remembering the fun as well. So I guess that's a bit of tongue in cheek to what you're saying there, but it's he has this beautiful soul, and he has this, wants to, open arms, wants to give you a hug, because I think that there's some guilt feelings that go on there, and I don't know whether the part of that guilt is also, how do I say, part of that guilt is stopping you from focusing on doing that leap of faith with your business, yeah? So I hope that makes sense. And just shoot me a message on the bottom and let me know how you go with that. Andrew, yeah, I'm feeling fine. Thank you very much for asking. Happy New Year to everybody who is saying Happy New Year. You're all very lovely. Queen Bean on YouTube. Yes. I haven't got YouTube up, so I may not see your question there. If you want to come into the Facebook side of it, I will definitely see your question. You can ask it here, because you're asking, do we just drop our questions? Of course, that's come up on my screen. So yeah, just drop me a line. I'm well, thank you. Just wondering, why are my emotions all over the place? Is it my hormones or my responsibilities, or both? Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. I'm actually going to say it's not your hormones. Like, I didn't get that at all in the beginning. I have to be honest. What I do get, however, could be fun. You call it your responsibilities. I call it sometimes in too deep, in even the saying, in way of my head, but that's not really what's going on. That's more about, when people say you're in way of your head, it means you've bitten off more than you can chew. That's not the case. It's more about other people are biting off more than you can chew. Other people are continually getting you to do things, asking you this, asking you that, pulling you here, pulling you there, pulling. That's all I see. Spirit is just showing me all this. Pulling. For what? I don't know. I don't like being pulled from pillar to post. If I can't do something, if I can't fit something in, if I'm doing something for myself and somebody butts in and wants me to do something with them or whatever, I need to focus on me. and sometimes you just have to do that. There are parts of spirit that are saying you give so much to so many people. You've got to. It's 2021 now. You've got to stop and smell the roses, and I can't say that strongly enough. There are many of us that don't actually do that, including myself. There was a time that I didn't do that either, and some of you on here that know me very well, you know I will answer you at whatever time of the night, but sometimes I have to really put my phone on silent because I can't be that person 24/7. Everybody in the world needs time to recoup. You do too, sweetheart. You have been pushed. You have business stuff going. Spirit is just so active tonight. That's the second time they're moving my crystals. This is like, stop. Why are you moving them? Anyway, Spirit, where was I? Sorry. You have business stuff to do. You have friendships to uphold. You have struggled through COVID. Your mind has gone, and pardon the pun, but your mind has gone a little bit crazy. It's overfilled with a lot of knowledge through COVID because you're trying to, not that you're trying to get ahead of COVID. What you're trying to do was establish yourself in a bit of a stronger ground through COVID, and that caused some confusion. You ended up kind of being off balance, and not physically as such off balance, but there were so many positive thoughts come in, but so many negative thoughts that just come in over the top and kind of squished everything that you're thinking of being able to do to achieve through COVID. That thought process has got to come back. Like Spirit is saying, get back on that wagon, get the journal back out, get everything, back out. Start writing down again all those ideas or other things that you want to do to change it all up again. But focus on you, sweetheart. That was the most important thing that was coming through about focusing on you. You don't give yourself enough time. Yeah. I love you for wanting to help everybody because I am very much the same, and I will continue to help as many people as I can. But what I need to do is also be structured. Otherwise, you're not really helping other people if you're a bit unstructured and a bit unfocused. So you need to come back in line with that too. And I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let me know how you feel about that. Yeah. Oh, Deborah, thank you for my earrings. These are handmade in Israel by a lady called Orit Schaltzman, who used to she used to come to Australia actually and put her products on a shopping channel called TVSN. But you can find Orit. Orit has her own website, and everything is handmade silver and like handmade sterling silver and Swarovski crystals. So I probably have, a lot. Because I love her stuff. It's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Queen Bee, I've just seen that you've asked a question. What's coming in love for me for January? Can you be more specific, please? Because January we're 12 days in, and I just want something a bit more specific. Thank you. Melissa, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling down. You're feeling down for a while and really, really wanting to move. Okay. I'm just going to put Spirit aside for 1 second because as much as they jumped in my ear with a response for you, I can't put Spirit aside because I keep hearing it over and over, over and over. Okay. It's almost like you're talking yourself into, and you know me, there is so much respect I have for every single person I read for, but I'm being shown and I'm being directed to. There is so much emphasis on moving, and I understand it's very important that you do, but you're focusing so hard on it that every single day it's all like in your head and in your subconscious mainly, it's all about we have to move, we have to move, we have to. So the want has outweighed, sorry, the need has outwanted the way. The tongue-tied, spirits is going crazy. The need has outweighed the want and the desire. When we keep saying we need to do something, And if it doesn't happen, we're giving ourselves a bit of anger because it's like, I need to move next week. I need to find property, by the end of the month. I need to do this now. And when it's not happening, or there's signs that it's not happening, that talk to yourself gets angrier and angrier, And I know there might be a need. I mean, this is I'm trying to explain this here. I know there might need to be a need. That's a quick one. Say that when you've been drinking. However, the want and the finding what you really want and finding that, somewhere that you're going to be happy, all that's kind of gone because the need has taken over the want. It's really hard when you actually do need to be moving on in life. Can people see that activity behind me? There's a bit of activity over near my flowers and just near the M on the Ms Tique sign. There's a little bit of activity going on there. And Spirit is kind of saying, we know that your circumstances, you have to move as such. But putting that much pressure on yourself every day, it's like when someone wants to fall pregnant. When you put that pressure on yourself every day, your whole body is tense and nothing's going to happen. So you're so tense about needing to go and needing to be moving that, and I know your wording says, really, really wanting to move, but it's turned into subconsciously a need, and that need is just churning over where you're getting frustrated, you're getting short-tempered, you're getting short with people, you're not sleeping well, everything's a bit of a, when I say drama, I don't mean any disrespect by that, like, everything is kind of, little things are kind of getting on your nerves, and some people are commenting to you and saying just slow down a minute and whatever, and you're getting edgy because you're getting really short with people. This is all the build up of the need. So Spirit says pull it back a little bit, come back to having some fun. I know that sounds hard. Come back to having some fun with looking for properties, and being that way, things should start to flow a little bit better. Yeah. There is just it just seems to, unfortunately, there's too much anger in what you're wanting as such. And I don't mean to say that you have, sorry, I'm just scrolling down at the same time. I don't mean to say that you have become an angry person. What I mean is just the subconscious now is starting to outweigh the other. Yeah. So if you can just maybe look at that a little bit differently, that might be good. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Tracy, Tracy, I see I'm a little bit concerned about you. I've got this message here saying, what should I do? The next one, what's wrong with me? Sweetheart, what's going on? These are a little bit concerning. I don't sense an urgency on anything, but can you please message me the question, please? Because if it's just you in general, I don't sense anything. I don't sense that there's anything, medically wrong with you as such. So I need, I know there's a lot of upheaval. I also know, and I hate to say this, but I hate it when spirits throw me this, but there's a lot of there's some people around, and look, this is going to come across very, very negative, but I have to say it. There are some people around you that don't have your best interest at heart. There are people that are taking advantage of you. Now, if it's that's dragging you down, you need to take control. You need to take the bull by the horns and say, enough is enough. Say it out loud, say it, internally, whatever the case may be, but start making some changes, start setting some boundaries. Even in your, I'm being told, even in your younger life, at primary and stuff like this, your you know, that sweet little kid that turned up at school, a little bit mischievous sometimes, but in general, this sweet little girl that turned up for school, there was people that, if I say things like, you know, tried to get you to do their homework, tried to entice you into doing other things, this is coming back to haunt you in adult world. There are some adults that are just keep trying to take the goodness from you all the time. It's now time to kind of go, do you know what? This isn't working for me. And what can I do to stop it? You need to set some boundaries. Because while you don't have any boundaries in place, you know, there's some people in this world that will just keep taking and taking and taking, you know. And it's not good. It's not good for you mentally, and it's also not good for you physically, because when you're mentally drained and you're mentally feeling wrong about a lot of things, everything else to you will also feel wrong, but your body starts to play a toll, you know. I mean, I laugh at people when they say, oh my God, we never see you eat, like you don't eat much, and but why are you so fat? And I'm like, wow, okay. Medical terminology is I've had a few things go on in life that I have to take certain medications, and they make you fat regardless. And secondly, if I'm a person, if I'm not hungry, or if I'm working 12 hours or whatever, I don't eat. So my body, every time I eat something, stores it because it never knows when it's going to get fed. But, you know, my issue, do I listen to all the shit, excuse my French, that people dish out about that? No, I don't. Well, no, I don't. You know, I was recently at the hospital and for COVID testing and whatever else. My bloods are perfect, my cholesterol's perfect, my, you know, heart was fine, ECG heart, no problem. Like, stop taking on board other people's opinions, please. There's a saying that is mine. I made it up years ago, and I teach people this because it's so very, very true, and I need to instill this in your head. Everybody has an opinion because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But it's what you do with their opinion that matters. You know, people, what's wrong with the art of agreeing to disagree? You might think something in life and I might think something different. I'm not going to argue with you. I would say, okay, that's your thought. My thought's a little different, but today we're going to agree to disagree and move it on. You're internalizing some stuff, lovely. That's what's wrong. You know, there's turmoil inside you from listening to too many other people's opinions. Stop. Let me know how you go, and if you're struggling, let's talk. Yeah. I don't like it when other people do that. Yeah. Okay, back to, you know, please, again, like and share, you know, like the feed, share it onto your page or some groups. I'm not seeing many share buttons, struggling to choose people tonight. Or I'm actually, you know, I'm looking to actually who I'm drawn to, because normally something speaks out. Rebecca, hello. I think that's funny. A quick drip on for me. What does that mean? Eh? What does that mean? Have you got a particular question for me, please? Happy to revisit if you have a particular question. Apart from if you wanted something really quick that was general, you've got barriers up. You know, you're trying to move forward on something, but you're actually stopping yourself from proceeding. Why are you doing that? Seems to be a brick wall right in front of you. Yet you are happy. You're happy. Go lucky. Your personality is you know, on point. Your heart is open. Your chakras are fairly balanced, but there is a wall. So either someone has wronged you and your trust barrier is way up, or you've put that there for no real reason apart from you're not wanting to take that step forward, is what I hear. Although normally you would. Normally you're the person that wants to jump 10 feet ahead instead of 1. Yeah. But there's, I have to say, there's a barrier that's holding you, and I'm not sure what it is, because Spirit is just saying it's right here. You need to learn to lower that barrier yourself, to invite what I say, like, invite the good in people in, because the more you have that barrier up, the more your outer energy is giving off coldness. And when people feel coldness, they don't want to stick around to learn or to understand what that coldness is. So just be very, very wary of that, yeah? Okay. And I actually want to say to you, how's, random question here, how's the fridge? Spirit directed me to say, how is the fridge? And what do you have in your, I need you to go do a little exercise now. What is in, I hate it when spirit take me for a walk. If I open your fridge and there's 3 shelves, there's a large, like where the first shelf is, that's obviously a lot of room for high things. And there's a second shelf, a third shelf before we get to the bottom. On that third shelf, at the very back on the left-hand side, go and find what that is. Because whatever that was bought for will, or no, let me say it differently, because I just got a slap then. Whoever's favorite food that is, that's who's trying to contact you. So Spirit are playing games now. So Spirit is saying, half of this game you need to work out yourself. So that's why they're directing me. That's why they're being directing me into here. So the third shelf, very back, left-hand side, whatever is there, whoever's favorite food that is trying to contact you. But you can contact them. You can make a joke of it. You can get it out tonight, and you can, I don't know why I'm asked to say Bob, but you would say, hey Bob, I've got it. And what's so funny, because I like it too, start the conversation. Yeah. It's like you want to connect with spirit. You're not sure how to ask the first question or how to do it. So spirit's trying to entice you in little ways. And unfortunately, and no disrespect, but unfortunately you haven't picked up a little bit of the hints. So henceforth, and I'm just being told there's a particular cheese beside it as well. Okay. I'm happy with that. Let's have the cheese. Oh, Danina's here. Hello, Danina. Fucking love you. You must have broke that very early. Man, there must be a whole heap of comments on the bottom here now. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't speak so soon, but it looks like we may have got rid of the trolls. Craig, I've just seen that you have put up Orange Schatzman for me. Thank you so much. Thank you. What a lovely bloke you are. I've known Craig since I was, what, 14? I hope his family aren't watching. I fancied his brother for a while. Still one of my good friends. They both are, Craig and Colin. Great blokes. Highly opinionated on some things, as we all are at times, but in a very good way. Don't take that the wrong way, Craig. Okay, so Janina, thank you so much for joining, sweetheart. Janina is my soul sister. I always refer to her as that. She's a futurist psychic herself. That is her business, the futurist psychic. Lovely woman, and we get on like a house on fire. We bounce off one another. We go on cruises together. Well, that's not going to happen for a while, I guess. We're doing the Raw Easter show together. If anyone's coming to the Royal Easter show in April, we will be there in the third pavilion, the one next to the Showbag Hall. We will be there at the front. And Danina and I are doing the Easter weekend. So Good Friday, Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. We will be there from, sweetheart, what time do we open the stalls? I think it's 9:30 till 8 at night, those 4 days. We will be there, loud and proud. We will be there. So yeah, anyone who, and that's under the banner of the Royal Psychic Reading Room, and so we will be there over Easter. Come and say hello. Come and have a reading. people come from everywhere to go to the Royal Easter Show, yeah? Okay, let's move on. Okay, coming to you, Julie. I'm looking for direction in my work. Is there anything I need to know that might help me make the best decision? Okay, Julie, you've got, I want to say to you before Christmas, Spirit's taking me to before Christmas. There was something, wow, okay, there was something said in a, okay, is it a meeting? Okay, it seems to be a meeting because I'm being shown a few people sitting around in a room. So something was said, and it was said like it was directed at you, but I believe it was actually said in jest, and you've taken that to heart. But that's okay. The person who actually said it did say that particular thing in jest. However, I feel that for probably 6 months prior to this happening just before Christmas, it's you've been feeling uneasy. You've been feeling that it's not quite your right avenue. And I also want to say that Spirit are guiding me too, that you started to look, but you got I don't like the word depressed, but you got kind of put off because there was nothing that jumped out at you, and you have a multitude of experience, yeah, multitude of experience, and I feel that part of that is not being how do I say it, not being taken seriously, is what I feel there. But I also feel with again with respect, I also feel that as a child, but more so a teenager. I'm being directed to the number 12. So number 12 is coming through very, very clearly. So whether it's 12 years ago or you were 12, I want to lean towards more when you were 12. There was also a time, and I'm saying that time in your life, that you wanted to do certain things and you were told no. You were always told that you couldn't. You were always, oh, wow, okay. I have to say this word, very, very sorry, but the word that's come through from Spirit is that you're belittled. I'm very sorry about that word, and I'm very sorry that that's what's coming through, because it's not very nice. However, back then, with your mind, it was almost like you put it to one side and had the attitude of "I'll show you." And by having that attitude, I mean, this is part of my work that I love, because when you had that attitude so young, it was almost like that inner warrior or inner child, whatever you want to call it. It was almost like she said, let's show them, I've got your back, let's show them. And you got on with things. However, it kind of still stuck in you, because by taking the comment at Christmas time a little bit to heart means that, there's something there that triggered something. And I want to say, prior to that, I think you'd heard a little bit of gossip around the office, and I think that's what started the whole ball rolling, that you weren't really happy there. You were starting to look, but you're wondering now, are you doing the right thing? I want to say to you, keep looking. Like COVID has, I've not gone on Seek or Indeed or whatever for a very long time, but I've been told by others that in the height of COVID, there was really nothing on there to look for. And anyone that had, any qualifications up their sleeve, there was really nothing then for there to grab and go, do you know what, I want to apply for that because I need that. But I'm saying to you, start looking now. Like January, early January, some companies go on holidays, but some companies deliberately put up ads so that when they come back to work, they've got all the applicants there and they'll just have to sift through them. The thing about, now would be they're probably going to have a lot more applicants than normal. So you might be up against a bit of a competition, but you have qualifications. You know your stuff. Put your best foot forward. Change your resume a bit. I'm being told that the first page is a bit wishy-washy. A bit harsh, wasn't it? Spirit says some wonderful things sometimes, but yeah, change some things in there and start sending it off. But start when you look, and I don't know whether this Spirit is just speaking in general, whether it's just specific for you. But however, it's like sometimes the headings don't match the job. They're kind of saying, look both. Look at a heading and the body of it, because sometimes that doesn't marry up. And you've probably been, skipping a few for that very reason, yeah? Okay. But yeah, let me know how you go, Julie, because I feel that, you know, when you can relate to the triggers, you know what areas then you might need healing from. Or, you know, I work on past trauma a lot, and you know, it's something that spirit will always direct me to if it's in someone, because yeah, it's just sometimes, and this is a little bit general, but it goes for a lot of people though, and more so in women. Women are really good people to be able to do 10 things at once, but also too, if we're feeling a little bit down about something or somebody has upset us, if there's something else that we need to do and we get on with it, we suppress that, whatever has made us feel a bit yucky, yeah? And then if something else happens, you know, that goes on top of that. It's like layering a cake, and the original things are pushed down and pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, and we feel a lot that we've got over it. We think, yeah, that was years ago. Yeah, I'm done with that. Moved on, heaps past that. But then something else happens in life that triggers something that takes you right back to that moment. And that's when you start to go, my goodness, why do I feel like this? And then you start remembering, oh, I felt like this when I was 5. Why do I feel like that now? It's normally a trigger, which means it's still deep rooted in your body. And sometimes it needs someone like myself to work out what it is, how it's happened, why it's still there, and helping you move it forward. Yeah. So if that's the case, sweetheart, just come in and have a full reading, and we'll organize that. Yeah. And I actually want to talk to you with your dad, where you say he's been gone 22 years and never come through. I think he's come through a fair amount of times. I want to say to you, with all due respect, that oh, okay. Dad tells me that you're a heavy sleeper and you don't wake up to him. Wow, okay. So I want to take you probably back to childhood stuff where you learned to be a heavy sleeper, let's put it that way, because of stuff that was going on in the house. So you wanted to shut off from hearing certain things going on in the house, and that's the best way I can probably put that, sweetheart. And it's more about when you sleep now, you there's some nights where you'll be wide awake for, you know, majority of the night, but when you actually sleep, you sleep very, very well, according to Dad. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll be kicking him for that. Also, too, you have of his. He's directing me to a leather. It looks like a man's wallet, but it doesn't actually seem quite the size of a man's wallet. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. I will use the term man's wallet. Because he opens it up, it does have money in it, so it's got to be some sort of wallet. But to me, the size that I'm being shown doesn't actually. I know that's a bit higgledy-piggledy, but it doesn't seem to be the size of an actual wallet. But you have this leather thing of his, and I actually want to say to you, even though it's tucked away, with all due respect, and it's okay that it's tucked away, he's not angry about that whatsoever. But what he's saying is, do you not every so often? Why is my mouse on there? Do you not every so often smell that leather? It's almost like sometimes you'll be sitting there watching a movie or watching TV and you get this woofed smell of leather. And I don't know whether you're used to it and you don't acknowledge it, or whether you just sit there and go, oh, why am I smelling leather? And then you just don't worry about it, yeah? That's him. So he's actually, even though he's been gone 22 years, he's actually been around quite a bit to have a chat. But you've kind of haven't opened up totally to, again, with respect to spirit world as such, to believe that you can. And that's where I have to say that. So I know that you know that spirit is there, but it's all about believing in yourself that you can connect with spirit. This is where the little blockage is, and this is why you're not obviously putting the smell of leather and all that into play to it being Dad. I'm also being taken to the second drawer in the kitchen. There seems to be something of Dad's in there. Can I be cheeky enough to say it's either a wine bottle opener or something? He says it gets good use. I think it's cute. It gets good use and it will be around for a long time. What do I take out of that? I guess everybody thought that he was going to be around for a long time. However, certain things happen, but he's very much a cheeky character. He's very much fun-loving, and I want to say that, you know, when you had family gatherings, he was at the head of the table. He was the chatterbox as such. He had hundreds and hundreds of stories, and a lot of you guys also too probably miss all those. Can you just stop? Hey, annoying. That's moving my bloody blinds for the fun of it. Anyway, cheeky personality, as I said, lots of stories, and I guess you and I'm being directed to 3 others that miss those stories around the big table. Yeah. So I hope that helps, and yeah, let me know, Anna. Pleasure connecting. Pleasure connecting. Okay. Okay. Homemade mayonnaise could be a few people. It's a thing that has been in the family for many generations. Okay. So my thought back to you will be, who started the recipe? Not necessarily who started the recipe, no. Because that would go way too back. Where am I going? Spirit, come on. Okay, 3 back. I'm being shown 3. So 3 back from you. So that's mum, grandma, great grandma. So did you? Oh, okay. Did she tweak the ingredients a little to suit herself? If so, that's just trying to connect with you, my love. Great grandma. Great grandma. Okay. I'm going to go back up to where I was. I'm in the habit of scrolling down to see if there's any trolls, and I don't seem to be getting any tonight, which is awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Let me come here. Just wondering how I'll go with my injury to my ankle and knee concerning my job. Okay. Robin, I'm sure everybody knows I say everything with respect. I don't know why I have to say that so often, but it's just to clarify, I guess. And please don't take this the wrong way, but it seems to be, you know, you love your job, and the more, I can only say this one way, the more you are actually worried and concerned about your injuries, the more you're going to stumble. There's the best way I can say that, because Spirit is sort of saying, if we know the injuries are there, we know at times it's painful, and we know at times that the injuries are okay. When you focus on, oh, can I do that because of my leg? Is my knee going to withstand that? Is my ankle going to hold up to the pressure? All those sorts of comments, you're actually putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And the more you're kind of using those words, ankle, knee, you're asking the universe to just direct things to those particular areas. When people meditate, and this part is just general, when people meditate and they ask for certain things to come into their life, if we walk around saying, oh, I hope I'll use your knee as an example. Hope my knee doesn't give out because I want to go skiing on Saturday. Really want to go skiing on Saturday, but I hope my knee doesn't give out. Really hope my knee doesn't give out because I want to go skiing on Saturday. The emphasis is on knee and skiing on Saturday. Most likely you'll twist that knee the day before the Saturday, because you keep putting knee and skiing out to the universe. It's a backward way of meditating. Some people go, that's a load of crap. It's actually not. If I keep saying to myself, God, I'm clumsy. I'm so clumsy. Every time I touch something, I'm so clumsy, I drop it. If I keep saying that, the universe will think to itself, oh my gosh, she keeps saying she's clumsy. We'll give her clumsy because I keep saying it. Yeah. So with you, get on with just look after the treatments. I mean, the treatments are important. And if you have to go and have treatment, actually like physical treatment on the injuries, then keep that up. If you're just like applying certain products to them, then keep that up. But don't keep thinking that they will stop you doing things. And yet, and that's a bit contradictory, because I want to say to you, your ankle at times actually stops you doing things, but put it in perspective. It stops you doing something, really way out there. Don't think it's going to stop you doing everything in your life, because the minute you start thinking that, that's when it plays havoc, because you're putting it out there time and time and time and time into the universe. If you tell yourself, yes, I'm aware of my injury, but I'm moving forward from that because I really want my job to work. I'm just mindful of the injury. That's all you need to say. But the minute you say, is it going to hold up to this? Is it going to? That's when it starts to like going around in circles, and that's when the universe says, "Oh my God, you're so focused on your ankle and your knee. We'll focus on your ankle and knee now." Yeah. I hope that makes sense, because I think it's going to be fine. As I said, yes, you'll get niggles in it. Yes, you'll get pain. Treat it as it goes, but don't keep thinking it's going to stop everything. Yeah. You'll be fine. Let me know how you go with that. Okay, I'm coming here. Sorry, I was just reading another question there. Susie, so worried about my mum in Scotland and can't get home. Dad, who has passed, usually comes through. I just would love to know if he is helping her and supporting her. Susie, I want to say, as much as mum is in Scotland and you're not, Dad is with her, and Dad also comes to you. I'm surprised, in a way, that you haven't felt Dad letting you know that he's been with his true love, and that's how he presents it. It's like, he's showing me, like, my heart is open and her heart is open, and I go and put our hearts together, and then I come and tell you, and then I go off again. So Dad seems to be virtually saying that, yeah, he's around both of you. But I also want to draw your attention, and I don't know if you can validate this, because you're not with mum. Sorry, that just got me right in the throat. Then it's almost like spirit just punched me right in the throat, and I hate it when they do that. So there's been some. Okay, it's Dad. So I need to sort of say that, Dad had something wrong with his esophagus, because almost like he just made my esophagus close over. So there's a problem there, and whether that's him defining his injury, I'll call it an injury as such, call it disease, call it whatever you want. It comes forth as an injury as such, with that closing off of the throat. It's almost like Mum has had a similar experience. But she got past that, and I want to say to you that sometimes that her food has been changed because of, but him, who has you'll have to answer this maybe another time, or maybe come through, and jump it on the end. There's a gold locket. He's showing me a gold locket now. Whether that's Mum has that with her, or because you're in Oz, whether that was given to you to hang on to as such, or given to you as a present by Mum. There seems to be this gold locket that seems to be his wording, valuable. Now, valuable can be sentimental value. It doesn't have to be, or it's worth $1 million. It's the sentimental value as well. So he's bringing forward this gold locket, and he's saying that you do, that you do love it. You do. Okay, so we're going. Okay, show me that. There's also a gold locket connection with childhood as well. So whether you had, he's laughing that I'm saying it's not worth $1 million. Obviously, why he jumped straight to the childhood one. So he's saying that piece of jewelry of similar when you were younger was not quite as expensive as the one that's kind of like, thrown at you right now. In hindsight, what he wants to say is that Mum is okay. We know you can't get here. The nurses are doing a fine job. There's one in particular that seems to come in and also chat with her, and sometimes Mum doesn't answer her back on being shown. But in all due respect, Mum has her good days and Mum has her bad days. But he is with her virtually around the clock. He will leave when he wants to go and have a chat to some of his mates, because I believe some of his mates are in spirit world as well. But yeah, and then he comes and sort of gives you a bit of a nudge, and virtually says, do you know what, we're okay. And he keeps referring to we're okay, which means that I want to say that everybody is really looking after Mum. And I know that that's probably not going to make you stop worrying because it's Mum. But yeah, I feel there's still a bit of a rough road. But I feel that I also sense the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. So I hope that helps you, Susie. And thank you so much for joining. Melissa, where are do I see you moving? I've answered that question, so thank you. And yes, Breezer, it's Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. I understand they didn't know about her heart, but part of her brain was missing. Okay. It makes a whole lot of sense, Kim, and I know that it's a while since I've done your reading, but yeah, it touches my heart. It's almost like I can feel her when she came through so clear to get you to understand that you would have watched in pain and seen her pain, and that would have been harder for you. So really touchy subject. But Kim, thank you for sharing here with me and with everybody else that's on this feed. It was a very personal question, and thank you so much for the validation. That's beautiful. Yeah, and you will understand, and I'm sure you'll understand. Okay. Okay. I've met you before by chance, and we had a lovely chat. I'd love to know if I'm going to have another baby, hopefully this year. I'm 41 years of age, and I'm in two minds whether to give up. Danielle. Met you before by chance. Maybe you can enlighten me on that. Obviously, a great meeting by chance. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Wow. Sorry, sometimes I speak out loud when I hear and read at the same time. All right. Will you have another baby this year? Short answer, no. 2022, yes. If I wanted to be clear about 2021, it's more about, and pardon the pun, being prepped for it. And I'm not saying 41 is old to fall pregnant at all. Where is spirit going with this? Okay, so as soon as I say that, I just get hit with 1,000 things. It's not about your body needing preparation, because everything seems to be a little bit okay, apart from you being a little run down. But that's because I think that you've come through COVID, but I think you've taken on too much as such. because Spirit is saying definitely it's definitely going to come into, like, they're showing me all the 222s, like 2022. So it's going to come in 2022. However, with showing me a line of twos, yet 2022 has a 0 in it, and I'm seeing a line of twos, I now want to say February 2022. Yeah. So 2021 is being prepped for it, but also to coming in line to not necessarily having your body ready for it, but having everything else ready for it. And there seems to be I think there's been a communication, what I want to say, fall down. I think it's with in-laws rather than your side of the family. I think it's more in-laws where there's I have to be honest, there seems to be a disagreements about it somewhere, and I want to say there's somebody that's fueling your fear, and more so that you brought up your age to me. I think someone is fueling your fear of, oh my God, you're 41. If you don't fall pregnant now, you're asking for a whole lot of trouble type thing. Somebody is fueling your fear. I kind of want to put that on the back burner because there's health wise nothing I can see. It's all like, I feel that your body is more than ready, but it's actually not your time because Spirit, as I said, keeps lining up these two all the way through. So I want to say February 2022, which means, what's that, falling pregnant in, well, my calculations are June, July, whatever, which is not that far off given the circumstances of, yes, we're in January. Yes, we've had a few more scares about COVID. Getting things back on track. Sorry, Spirit was just in my throat then again. Getting things back on track, like, financially, because as I said, you took a bit of a hit through COVID, but then you're kind of bouncing back and coming, through all the right directions of that, but just kind of a bit of stop and smell the roses because you're trying to do too many things at once. And maybe I think that you're trying to do too many things at once because in your head, it's like, but if I have bubs this year, I've got to get all that done. You can spread that out a little bit now because, as I said, very, very clearly, I'm seeing all the twos. So that's February 2022. I don't believe that you should give up. I just think the universe is throwing you something of, in a sense, just slow down a bit, just kind of wait. Yes, you've got over the drama of COVID, you've got back into the swing of certain things, but you still need to build a bit more to be ready. Yeah. So that's where they're taking me there. So I hope that makes sense, and let me know. Yeah. Okay, this is rather a big one. Stella, hello. Can I say, if you dream something over and over and over, does it mean it's a message or warning? I keep dreaming I'm being admitted to the psych eating disorder unit. I try to escape, but they catch me and bring me back. And I wake up distressed because the voice of my ex-doctor saying we need to get her admitted to another doctor and then turning me. Okay. What I'm going to say to you, Stella, it doesn't mean as such that it's a warning that's going to happen to you. What it means is because it's the same flavor all the way through, like it's the same dream over and over again. And the main part of that dream is what I grabbed out of that dream is the eating disorder, for what they're accusing you of as such. So my question back to you, and normally this is what works when you have a dream like that, there's normally one particular subject in it that seems to be repetitive. And I know the whole thing's repetitive about they're taking you here and they're taking you there and a doctor's voice here, there and everywhere. I get that. But what was thrown at me first off, it were the words eating disorder. And that's probably more about you being a bit too hard on yourself about taking on board other people's comments about your food. So whether after Christmas, whether there's been a for a better word, like lack of food, like lack of structure of breakfast, lunch and dinner, and maybe something in between, whether that's gone by the wayside a little bit and people are commenting, then your subconscious is latching onto those comments. And therefore, the dream structure is all around, oh, I have an eating disorder. So it's not necessarily a warning that that's going to happen to you. It's more about what your subconscious is drawing from what people are saying. So if your subconscious dream, like if I listen to people saying, oh, you're fat, you can't do this, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, all I'm going to focus on is I can't do anything because I'm fat. No. I can do whatever I want to do, and if I don't want to do something, then I don't want to do it. It's choice. So if you're a bit lackadaisy with food and you're not eating as much, if people are commenting, then you know your body better than anyone. And if you're not having enough fuel, then your body will start to suffer and start to show you signs that you're not having enough fuel. So then you need to listen to it. But this dream is more about listening to other people's comments about your eating, about your food, and hence the subconscious has gone round and round and round, and it's spurting out this. We're going to put her in the psych ward because she's got an eating disorder. No, it's not going to happen, sweetheart. It's unfortunately, it's the subconscious playing very bad tricks on you. Okay, you're absolutely right. So very true. I definitely, no problem, my love. No problem at all. It's great when people can validate it on the night. It makes for okay. Okay, there's a lot of people on board. A lot of people. Hello, Lenny, if you're still here. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Daniel, you live with your in-laws. That is my mother-in-law. Oh dear. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Sorry. Our paths crossed today. You mentioned you were on Tuesday Live, so I thought it was a great opportunity to look you up. You had any messages from me? I'll be very grateful. Glad I found you. Oh, Sharon, that is so very, very sweet. Thank you so much for that. It was a very chance meeting, and it was a pleasure to sit beside you and have a chat. So let me see what I've got here. Danielle, I'm still laughing about that. That was your mother-in-law. I hope nobody was offended then, Danielle. If you could let me know, that would be good. Oh, Spirit is just so active. They're just flying everywhere. It's so good sometimes. But it means I'll be in for a long night because I'll be active here for a while. Okay. I just drew some cards from my normal deck, but because Spirit made some other cards all of a sudden just jump out of another deck, which I'm not even touching, I wanted to see what they were. Okay. I'll touch on those a bit later. Let me have a look. Okay. I was only near you for a short length of time today, Sharon, but I do I do want to now say, like, with all due respect, there has been I probably want to go 18 months. I'm at the minute I was thinking 18 months, I get shown up 18 loud and clear, but also I get 18 months to 2 years. There has been a I don't like the word destruction, but Spirit is coming through where there's in the last 18 months to 2 years, there's been a lot of upheaval in your life. Things have changed, and I want to say to you that there was a real dramatic change at one point throughout that time, and I think that was that point that and please again I say with respect that you. Only way to say it is that you took a dive, because this is what Spirit shows me, is that you took a bit of a dive. However, you seem to have a couple of, and I want to go to 3, you seem to have 3 very close friends, and one in particular was one who was able to get in there quite quickly and, get you to understand that it's actually okay to take a dive, as long as you're also, quite happy to come back up, if you know what I mean. So it wasn't a dive, if people are thinking the S word. No, it wasn't a dive for that. It was S word being suicide. I have to clarify that. It certainly wasn't that sort of dive. What it was like an overwhelming, gone through a bit of hardship. Somebody wronged you, but you had people here to virtually say, do you know what? It's okay. You needed to go through that to get to where you are today. So I hope that makes sense. So you needed to, it wasn't very nice, but Spirit is sort of saying you needed to go there for your strength to be rebuilt and for you to shine again. So Spirit is very clear on you shining again. And I just got this feeling of seeing you. When I say take a hit, I don't mean physical. I mean that something really got to you. Someone did something that really got to you that I think that you never thought would happen, and that's why I think you took this dive as such. But there was, as I keep saying, 3 people, one in particular, that was able to pick you up, and you realised almost instantly that nobody was going to put you down ever again. That nobody was going to make you feel the way you did through that. But you learned valuable lessons through it. I mean, A, you learned who you can trust, but B, you learned some really powerful lessons about yourself. And if anything, and why sometimes the universe, has things happen to us, it's normally to actually get you to see the lesson. And although you're a strong person prior, it's taught you how much stronger you can be and how much stronger that you want to be, and how now you really, you have really gained a whole lot of confidence that I want to say that you may have thought you had before, but I'm feeling that you didn't. And Spirit keeps directing me to, even as a younger child, you were the quiet one. You were the one that stuck by the rules. You're the one who just did everything by the book. And that's not calling you a goody-goody. That is just someone who just doesn't think outside the square as such. But now, with things that have gone on, now your mind is always thinking outside the square and always coming up. If something doesn't work, you're automatically already thinking of how you can get that thing to work and put it into place. Because there just seems to be there seems to be this whole big shift. So whatever that was 18 months to 2 years ago that happened to you, it wasn't very nice at the time, but it has made you look at life in a whole different new way, but also too a whole different new way on yourself, where you embrace things differently now, you think about things differently now, and you actually understand your own worth, and you won't settle for anything less. I really hope that that resonates with you. Please drop me a line and let me know, how that sits with you. Really a pleasure to meet you today, and that you've come on board tonight. That's a fabulous, what I call nurturing thing after, I only met you today for a short time. So thank you very much for joining, and great to see you here. Okay, Jodes, hello. May I get a reading on the legal thing I'm dealing with? What do you see around it, if can, please? Okay. Okay, Jode, you've been to the ringer and back, haven't you? Wow, okay. A lot of anxiety. My heart just kind of went, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, but I also need to point out a lot of undue stress. Somebody, whether it's your legal person, I am being shown it's on your side. I am being shown the legal person on your side, and you have had a few differences of opinion, for want of the better word of saying that, and there seems to have been, how do I say this? You're not someone who gets angry, but you've been getting angry at some of the decisions they're making, and some of the decisions aren't even being discussed with you. Therefore, I think that you're feeling a little bit discouraged with the whole thing, and wondering if they're actually working with you or against you. I want to say to you, it's really good that you're pulling them up. It's really good that you're speaking your mind, but Spirit is directing me to clarifying, to make sure that your conversations with them are also in writing. If you're asking them to do something, please put it in writing, because that is your backup. And once it's in writing, it has to be acted upon. That's very, very important. And you're probably going to tell me that you've sent them 100 emails and they don't always respond. They don't have to respond as such, because if you've got that legal, what I call the tracing, like, to them on instructions, you have to make your instructions very, very clear. And I know you've been doing that, so please don't take me the wrong way, but there seems to be just something missing in the mix that's made you now doubt where they sit on the fence. I want to say to you that I think, not personally what I think, but from what I'm being directed to from Spirit, there is still a little bit way to go. I need you to pull back on a little bit, though, about justifying yourself. You're kind of going in a spin about continually justifying yourself over and over and over again. Justifying yourself once or twice, then you're done. There's no point continually trying to get people to listen as such to you. Let your lawyer do that. The more you're justifying yourself, the more you're, the more your subconscious is then doubting your own credibility. And that's a horrible thing for me to say, but that's what the subconscious can do to you. And when you're in doubt, then you don't come across as fluent as what you normally are. So that's where Spirit is directing me there, to virtually say, stick to the right path. You've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. So there's no need for the continual justification. Unfortunately, you do have to ride this out for what I see another 2 months. Having said that, it will start to ease up a bit, but you do have to have really tight, strict instructions to your lawyer or to your legal team, because somebody's missing a small component. I just heard that someone hasn't put forward a small component that's really important to the issue. So Spirit is sort of saying, go over some things. Something has been missed. There's one little piece to the puzzle. And it's almost like you have said it, but nobody is standing there continually saying it. So one little piece of the puzzle is being missed. So I'm being directed for you to go through all your notes and to make sure that everything that you know of is being passed over and is being said on your behalf. Just double check everything, love. Otherwise, I'm not saying it'll go against you, but it will make it wind up a little bit quicker, because it's a vital piece. So yeah, I'm just being told to get you to check everything, make sure everything is emailed, make sure your instructions are clear, and make sure that everything has been said. And if something has been said but it hasn't been, if the issue hasn't been forced, then make it forced. Yeah. So I hope that goes well for you, and please let me know how that has resonated with you. Daniel, things can sound the same, for someone else. But yeah, if it's resonating with you and it sounds like, your dad, that's great. Talk to him and invite him in. Yeah. Okay. Can anyone see the face in the blue vase to the left? It kind of stands out a bit, doesn't it? I was wondering if anyone else could see it, but yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. And we were just talking about you. Hello, my love. Thank you so much for joining. Pleasure meeting you today as well. And I look forward to many, many adventures in your salon. Awesome. Thank you so much. I completely understand what you said, and I think you're right. I'm constantly worrying about hurting it. Yeah. It is what it is. Rob, you just need to put it more to the back of your mind. Don't make your life and your job or your outings or whatever all about your ankle and your knee. Yeah. Okay, we meant to do. I came to see a counsellor of my father who passed. Okay, Danielle. Lovely that you can join me here, and thank you for remembering me and joining us live. Awesome. Lenny, hello. I hope you're well. Lenny will also be at the Easter show, doing some psychic readings. Emma, you're from England. Spirit, hello from England. Good evening, welcome. It's probably daytime with you. Daniel, I still keep seeing your comment that you live with your in-laws. I don't think that's funny. Relationship guidance, Spirit, please. Hello from England. Very general question, not one that I really am normally drawn to on a live, because it's very general, and therefore it can take up a lot of time. However, I'm going to go with it. Because Spirit guided me to go with it. Okay. Where Spirit are directing me, Emma, is a bit good, a bit bad, a bit in between. I need to get out first how gentle and loving your soul is. That's the first thing Spirit came in with. Second thing they came in with was not so pleasant in the such of is you give your heart too easily. And that's not being rude. I don't mean that in a rude way at all. It's more about when you're so gentle, people can look at you as a little bit vulnerable. It's probably the best way I can say that. And sometimes you're going to be taken advantage of, and sometimes they pull at your heartstrings. And Spirit keeps showing me this heart. And I want to say to you that it's been broken a few times because I can see the cracks. Having a few cracks in your heart, though, just makes you a little bit short with people, a little bit non-trusting with people, and sweetheart, very much understandable why you're in that boat. But by doing that, you're not allowing the real people to see and to feel the real you, is what I want to say there. It's almost like you're now too scared to give your heart as much as you may want to. You're too scared to open that heart fully to give that heart. Yeah. So I know we've been hurt before, and how vulnerable and sometimes even silly that you feel with allowing people to possibly take a little bit of advantage of you, and taking advantage of your kindness. But it's probably not also to the greatest thing in the world to automatically shut everybody out. There are going to be some people in your life that are going to treat you bad or treat you wrong, or are going to misguide you. It's about looking for the signs. It's about learning from past experiences. And I know, and I'm feeling that you're quite young, so there's a lot more coming in your life. However, having a heart broken, being a bit young, yes, that can feel like, and I don't mean to make fun of it at all, because it can feel like the end of the world, and I totally understand it. But it's more about, as you get older, you will learn certain things about how what you're tune more into your intuition, to virtually when you're meeting someone, ask yourself, what do I feel about this person? Like, when you go to the bathroom, for instance, what do I feel about this person? Your gut will either say, yeah, I've got a good feeling, or no, I've got a bit of a bad feeling. Trust what it says. But I always say to people, don't just go on the first one, because if you get a bad feeling the first time around, give that person a second chance. If you meet them again somewhere, or you're going out with them, or in a crowd, or whatever the case may be, on that second meeting, if you're still getting an iffy feeling, well, then pay attention, because that's 2 out of 3. But if you're getting a good one, then you kind of go, well, one bad, one good. You need to then meet up with that person for a third time and see what your gut is saying, because your gut feelings are 99.9% correct every single time. And you need to tune in and listen to them, because in the past, and again, this is no disrespect, in the past you've kind of wondered what these gut feelings are, and you haven't actually listened to them. And I can say loud and proud that gut feelings, gut instincts, whatever you want to call it, they are 99.9% correct every single time. And sometimes your head goes, oh, that's a bit far-fetched, I don't want to really listen to my gut. But then it works out that your gut was right, and then you get cranky because you didn't listen to your gut. Circle. Revolving circle. You need to kind of open up a little bit more when you're meeting people, just so you can feel. You need to allow that feeling of the gut to come in, because otherwise you'll block everybody off for a long time, and there's no point. So, and again, I don't want to make light of it, because you have been hurt before, and you've been hurt in a big way. Allow all that to kind of go, okay, what did I learn from that? Sit down and write it on a piece of paper, write it in a journal, and actually ask yourself, what did I learn from that? Because once you ask yourself that, when you've got a book in front of you, you'll just start writing. And then you can look back on it and go, wow, I actually learned more than I thought. And it's those areas that you go, do you know what? I'm going to build myself that no one can kind of touch those particular areas again, because that means that you truly are taking on board what you've learned from past. So I'm sorry that your heart is hurting, but there is light in the tunnel. You go through a little bit of a healing process yourself and learn some of those lessons. And, when I say by Christmas, I know it seems a long time away, but it's actually not really. We've all gone through a whole year of COVID. It doesn't seem that long ago that actually started. We're in the process now of everybody trying to rebuild, and everybody also being a little bit careful. So if I was, I'm not going to be crazy and go, do you know what, you're going to meet the love of your life in the next few weeks, because it's just not going to happen, because you need some time to work out, how you heal your heart in a correct manner, that you learn, and kind of what to look out for. Yeah. By Christmas, people will be around. It's almost like that you will when I say 2 or 3 people to choose from, I don't mean that in a horrible way either. It's more about you will meet new people through what can I say, through some small gatherings. They're not big gatherings, they're small gatherings. So it's like a small group of people, where you might know 1 or 2 people in the instance to go, and then others that will join throughout the night. That's where you'll meet someone. Yeah. Okay. I did. Time to stop doing that. Time for you to think differently, my love. Okay. Yep. No, and you won't be. Stop taking on board everybody else's stuff, my love. Okay. Yep. Lady, you're the lady behind me, yeah? Like if I'm looking at, the mirror that I was at today, you were the lady behind me, yeah? We didn't actually get to talk, but yeah. I kind of knew when I was tuning in reading. I kind of thought, no, this isn't for this lady here. This was for one here. Even though for most of my time inside Jules, all I saw was the back of your head. But yeah, but thank you for wanting to connect. That's awesome. And how did that? I think you might have written something down here below. I was going to say, how did that resonate with you? Okay. No problem, Sharon. And that it, when I stopped myself and I thought, no, it's not beside me, it was behind me. That's where I love working with spirit, because I already knew then virtually straight away that, and I actually didn't then register your name as such. I kind of went, oh no, it's the lady behind. And I just kept calling you the lady behind. But yeah. Thank you for your validation. Awesome stuff. Okay. You've written more. Thank you so much. So encouraging and so true. I'm very grateful to have you crossing paths with you today. Thank you for sharing your gift. Brilliant. No problem. if ever, and I say this to everybody, not just necessarily to you, Sharon, what helps my business, is word of mouth. If somebody wants to leave me a review on my Ms Tique Psychic Medium page, that would be awesome. Or on this particular page, after the live, or go on the and just type it on there, whatever. If anybody wants to share their validations and to leave me a review, other people in the world go by those reviews. So if I've touched on the truth and everything, and it's helped you this evening, please, if you can leave me a review, that'd be awesome. Awesome stuff. Okay. And it will be, Joe's, for a little bit longer. It will be. Don't focus truly on everything. Just, start moving, making decisions about your life as well. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. Lisa, I have to come to you because I keep hearing certain things. I'm not sure at this stage if it is your sister. Because I just kept getting a female virtue knocking at the side of my head, and it was annoying me, and I was kind of wondering who it was belonging to be quite honest. And that's no disrespect whatsoever, but I need to say to you, if that's the case, if there was that continued knocking on the side of my head, is it fair to say that your sister was quite an impatient person? It's almost like I'm never heard. I need to get my word out there. What is wrong with people? Why can't they hear me? Type thing. And that's her in the land of the living before she passed. I want to even say to you that at school, it seemed like the hand was always put up, but she was never picked to be able to share the answer. So I think that's why she was trying to like bang on the side of my head, as if to say, you need to listen to me, you need to connect me. And I was wondering where that was going. If that is her, then please know that she's still just as persistent in spirit world as what she was as a child. Which is kind of lovely to feel that somebody wants to connect, not desperately, but somebody wants to show their traits, like up front, loud and proud, like let's just bang on the head and get my attention, so to speak. And I kind of love that with spirit world, because I deal with hundreds of spirits, like all well, not all day every day, but you know what I mean, like every day until I tune off. I get sort of like a multitude of them. But I actually want to say to you that and I don't know which way it is though, because I'm being directed to point out about the hair cutting. And I know we talked with a few of us on the feed about meeting in a hairdresser and so on today, but it's more about your sister is what you're saying. When you were younger, it's either she cut your hair or attempted to cut your hair really badly, or you cut hers, and then you got in trouble. So then, like, mum and dad, it was almost like you had to stand in front of mum and dad and be, pointing the finger, being reprimanded of the cheeky children that you were, by even being bold enough to get the scissors out. Yeah. So there is as much as she's persistent, there is a very cheeky side to her as well, which is it's fabulous to feel, and I love that with spirit. But I also want to say to you, there is a ring, and spirit is showing me rose quartz, but I don't think it's a rose quartz ring, and because rose quartz, as you know, is it's always about love. And whether it's the love we give to ourselves, or love that we share with others. But I don't want to say it's a rose quartz ring. I think it's a gold ring, but the meaning of it and why you have it is because of her, her love for you and your love in return. And it was something that she wanted you to have. But then I'm being told by Spirit that you have one anyway, or you have one that's similar anyway, but you alternate them at times, and sometimes you wear, I think your sister either had bigger hands than you, or because it seems to be that you can wear hers and your ring together but on different fingers. So that means it's a different size hand. And Spirit tells me that you wear it on your right hand quite often. So there's obviously that connection, that strong connection there with your sister, and there's obviously a playful side to both of you, but there's also, like, your sad side of, but I didn't want her to go. But it's almost like, I'm sorry I had to. She couldn't change. She couldn't change. Oh, okay. She couldn't change what was happening to her, and there was some anger around not being able to see her. Not everybody could do what they wanted to do. Not everybody could come in. I'm being shown the stop sign, in the sense of, no, stop, you can't go any further, and you can't even come in today at all. You can't even come into the hospital today. You can't come near her. You have to go away. So there's all this anxiety around people like yourself and other family that wanted to do so much and you couldn't. But she knows that. But she knows it wasn't you who was making the decision not to be there, if that makes sense. You were there a couple of times, but I actually want to say to you that one of those times, I think you were at home and you were in your mind, you're placing yourself there. It was almost like you had one of those spiritual connections where you could place yourself there. You could send her love, you could send her healing, and she would feel it. She's very proud. She's very proud of how you've kind of, like, I'm not going. I have to say it the way I hear it, but it sounds a bit yuck. But it's like she's proud of the way you've picked yourself up, and not that you've moved on, but you're moving in the right direction. Whatever you're starting is the right direction. She was pushing you towards changing something up, and you're doing that now, or you're on the right path of doing it, because she was pushing you in that direction. I wonder if it's her that pushed you. I shouldn't say that. That pushed you out, made you fall. That's the way of getting your attention, that's for sure. No, I'm just kind of making that up in jest. She wouldn't have done that. She was probably there to save your fall, so you weren't as injured as such, because that type of fall could have created like a whole stack of injuries. You've got a few, but possibly not as many as you should have had, if that's the way of saying that. But she's a caring soul, and I actually want to say, you both. I mean, when I say you're both tarred with the same brush, of course you are, but it's like that you are. I don't want to say twins, but it's almost like it's almost like you are, because you just bounce off one another so well. I really hope that helps you, and if you can let me know, that would be fab. Thanks, Lenny. See you on the other side, so to speak. He will know. He will know. But I think I'm not young. I was 39. Oh, that's young. You're only as young as who you're feeling, lovely. If you're not feeling anyone, well, then you're younger than you care to imagine. Okay, I've just seen one troll. Thank you, Lynn. I've just seen this person, but thank you. Well, I suppose one's not as bad as 10. Thanks, Sharon. So nice. So I'm just getting rid of this idiot. Excuse my French. Okay. Okay, she was very intelligent. Yep. Yeah. I get that. Lisa, I get she was very intelligent. It's a bit tough. When she was in hospital one day before I went to visit her, I had a thought she had a haircut. Well, Spirit was coming through with his haircut thing. It was quite funny. But yeah. You're saying you don't have any of her rings, but if that's the case, then is there a ring that you had that she had her eye on, or that she borrowed or something? Because she referred to she referred to rose quartz first, but I didn't see it as a rose quartz ring. I saw it as like rose quartz, the meaning of love, either with yourself or whatever. So yeah. That's probably the reason why she brought that up then. Okay. Yes, with COVID, you're booking to see her. Yeah, I get it. Just a Reiki on her makes perfect sense, my love. Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Lynn, I want to come to you because I am coming towards the end. Well, we've got 5 minutes or so left. Health situation. Oh, geez, I'll play someone else I know. You have a lot of anxiety around. I'm not taking this lightly, but you have a lot of anxiety around what's progressing with your health. Why isn't something in particular getting any better? Am I doing something wrong? There's all these what ifs that seems to I'm being directed to. At times, you have all these what if questions to your doctor, and I think the doctor and you are on the right path, but something is niggling at my left leg. So I have a little concern about your left leg, and I don't want to just brush it off as arthritis. I think there's been an injury there in the past, and I think that you favour that leg, or there's something going on with that left leg. The Spirit keeps jabbing me in my left leg, so I have to go with that. But it's a case of do I think your health is deteriorating? No, I think that you're on the right path. But I do have to say to you, with all due respect, there seems to be I don't know whether it's a tablet or a liquid form, but I'm hearing that the doctor has been trying to try you on something different. And I'm not sure what the hesitancy is on trying something different, because to me, I'm kind of getting that there's no it's I don't know, it's like you're too scared to try it, but I'm not sure why you're scared, because it's not as if it's a new thing on the market, no one else has had it. But I don't know what that blockage is, because to me, I'm being shown if it doesn't work, the easiest solution is if it doesn't work, then you don't have to keep on taking it. But to me, it's more about, I would give it a go, because the pain that I feel in my left leg, I would probably just give it a go, because, as I said, the worst case scenario is that if you don't try it, you're never going to know. It's like that old saying, if you don't ask, you're never gonna get type thing. And it's more about you having confidence. Your doctor should know you well enough. You having confidence in what he is saying, and where the pain is just annoying the bejeebers out of me, because it seems to be around the pelvic area, like at the very top of my leg. Like sitting, it's a bit awkward. because I want to kind of stand up and stretch it out type thing. So I want to say to you that, if there's something that your GP and you have spoken about and you're hesitant to try it, maybe just try it a couple of times, whatever it is. As I said, I was kind of like torn between a tablet and liquid. I'm leaning towards liquid actually, because the tablet, I'm not getting the swallowing sensation. I'm getting a liquid form. I just wonder, because Spirit is virtually saying, if you don't try it, you will not notice how much difference it can make you feel. And if you really don't think that it's made a difference, then you have a choice to say that you don't want that again. But when you feel the sensation that it's worked, or that something is feeling a little bit better than what it was before, then you're more confident to say, do you know what, I'm happy enough to continue on that medication, or I'm happy enough to continue whatever that treatment is. That's I would, Lynn, in all honesty, I would just say, I just need to give it a go. As that's what I would be headed. So let me know how you go with that, and I'll just, I'd be interested to know what happens there. Your reading for Lisa was amazing. It's like you were describing my sister. Wow. Okay. Oh, Lynn, you've bounced back in. It's my hip injections I needed. Yes, I'm scared stirrer with weight. Lynn, weight is weight. If the injections actually, and I'm talking from my heart now, if injections actually help the pain or help you function better, weight is weight. People should like us for who we are, and if they don't, whether you're short, tall, black, white, fat, skinny, whatever the case may be, if people don't like us for us, it's their loss. And yes, weight can be an issue. And look, I turned 60, and yes, I have some extra weight on me too. I mean, you can tell by the size of my shoulders, stuff like that. It's, if people don't like me, they don't like me. What does that mean to say? I can say, oh my God, if I lost all this weight, people are actually going to like me. Oh, isn't that fab? That means they're only liking the shell, and they're not liking, because I'm always going to have the same heart. I'm always going to be the same person. Look at the people who, oh God, that lady's name is just gone from my mind now. That lady that got burnt in the desert. Her husband loves her. He never left her. She is completely disfigured. Yes, she's had some surgery and all that sort of stuff. However, he thinks that she is still beautiful, because he married her for her, not this outer shell. So if you're scared of weight, then talk to the doctor about it. But I feel the injections are going to make you feel a whole lot better. And if it puts on a little bit of weight, well, if I'd rather be putting on a little bit of weight than putting up with pain, to be quite honest. Pain will lead you to stronger pain meds over time, because the other ones aren't working, and then you don't want to get up and actually move a lot because your leg or your hip hurts, or whatever the case may be. That's going to stop you from enjoying certain things in your life. Like, don't let certain little fears, rule your life like that. Yeah. I just feel that, I'd rather get rid of the pain, or, help the pain somehow, so I can enjoy something a bit better, and, someone's just, Tammy's just jumped in here saying, well said about weight. It's absolutely true. And my own mother, unfortunately, when I got a job offer for Psychic TV many years ago, and I was all excited, because people had to apply, and I got called up and I got, approached by them, which was awesome. And my mum said, oh, you can't do that. I said, why can't I do that? Yes, I know it's on late at night. I don't know what you're talking about. And she says, you can't do TV. And I'm like, well, why not? She says, because you're too fat for TV. Now, mother's love is supposed to be unconditional. They were her exact words. I'm too fat for TV. And you know what? If I had have allowed that comment to stick in my head, I would never have gone on TV. However, I said back to her at the time, I remember saying it because I was so quick off the mark, I couldn't believe what she said. And my comment straight back was, they're not employing me to be on TV to sell exercise equipment. They're employing me to be on TV to deliver what I get from spirit, because I'm psychic. Hello. It's psychic TV. So I kind of put it in its place. But what I'm saying is that if I had took that on board, and I sat in front of that camera on that first night, and I sat there going, oh my God, I'm so fat for TV, I can't do this. And if I had a frozen, I would have lost 7 years of psychic TV because I would have been too scared to do it. Going on someone's stupid opinion of myself. So I chose to not take it on board. This is what I'm saying. If the hip needs the injections and cures the pain to a degree, or it helps overall, then get it done. Get it done. Yeah. It really is what it is. Yeah. I don't know what this person's doing. They're promoting themselves on my page. Go away. So yeah, if that has helped you, Lynn, and I see that Tammy has jumped in and said her injections work for her. Jackie, I'm just going to quickly go to you because I need to finish up. Surgery will be fine. I know it's a little overwhelming, and I know you may not wake up feeling fantastic, but give it 24 hours after you wake up and you'll be absolutely fine. I'm hearing nothing that it's bad. I'm hearing there won't be any complications. It's more about, at this stage, it's more about your anxiety about going under, that I think that, that anxiety, if you allow that anxiety to feel too much, you'll kind of, your heart will be racing by the time you need to go under. So calm it all down. I don't feel anything bad about it, sweetheart. And I shouldn't say I wish you well for tomorrow, but when I say that, I mean that, my heart is with you for tomorrow. I'll be thinking of you tomorrow. It will all go perfectly fine, and if you've got a chance, a few hours after you wake up and you're feeling okay, just text me. Please let me know that, everything's all fine. As I said, I feel that it will. Tammy, sorry, I'm just going to butt in here. My mum says saying anything about me, but I've meant to say no. Yeah, that's exactly right, Tammy. Just, again, I come back with that comment I was sharing earlier. Everybody's entitled to an opinion because everyone has an opinion, but it's what you do with that opinion that matters. Yeah. And as I said, if I decided to lose weight just so people would like me, oh my goodness, how ridiculous does that sound? People either like me for me, and I can be very blunt. I've gone through bullying most of my life, and it continues because there's still skeptics from the psychic world, stuff like that. And I don't take it on board anymore because, it's what I choose to do with people's opinions. If I wanted to be, a people pleaser all my life, forget it. My family are very, very, very much what I would say, what is the word? Selfish, self-absorbed, and I'd never get a pat on the back for anything, and I would never expect it either. Kim, I just want to correct you there. You're saying Thursday night. It's actually Thursday lunchtime. Okay. Helen, you're saying missed out again. Spirit mustn't have a message for me. Probably not tonight, Helen. I'm very, very sorry. Please don't take it to heart. I try and get to everybody, and I will, I will get to you at some point. But if Spirit hasn't jumped in to say, to direct me at you, it's probably because they haven't got anything to say tonight. Craig, you're still here. And you've enjoyed watching me? That's all I'm wondering. They have said, oh, can you shut up, Robin? You talk too much. But thank you, Craig. Lovely of you to say so. Jackie, I know you've got mixed emotions. I know the anxiety is high. It's always a little bit scary going to any type of operation, even if they say it's a even if they say it's a simple one, things can happen. As I said, I seriously don't feel any negativity around it at all. And I think that it's actually for the better that you have it done, and it will be over and done with before you know it. And as I'm hearing it, not too much pain. But I do want to direct you to taking your proper breaths tomorrow morning so the anxiety doesn't reach a level where you really can't control it. Otherwise, they'll probably give you something for it, and it may not agree with you, is what I hear there. So please do some breath work tomorrow to bring that down, because, yeah, absolutely, you'll be fine. Don't let the anxiety rule, because your heart then will be racing. And if your heart is racing, It's not a real good feeling going under anesthetic if you're, that panicky. I know how it feels. I have anxiety, when I've got to have surgery, and I'm like a baby. I will be lying on the bed crying, and I'll think, "Oh my God, you're a grown woman. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" And I go, "Oh, because I'm so scared about going under." And then I go, "Oh, you know what? That's just ridiculous." Because you're normally always, well, not normally, but you're always in good hands. They're trained in that field, and you won't. To me, I hear that you actually won't be under for that long. So I hear that it'll go all smoothly. So I hope that will actually help you for tomorrow as well. Yeah. No problem, Kim. I was just correcting you because it's Thursday lunchtime, Thursday middays that I come on now. I do Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. and Thursdays I do it 12 midday. Yeah. Okay. So on saying that, Andrew, thank you so much for your compliment. Thank you. That's nice. Oh, look, Jackie, I know. You'll be right. You'll be right. Oh, thank you. Look at all you lot. You're so nice. Okay, my screen's just got a bit funny. So that's correct. That's correct. Well done. No problem. Again, thank you. Thank you. What I always say at the end, and it's always something that I love in the case of, you guys are always awesome. I know I've had a lot of newbies tonight as well, which is also lovely to see new people, and lovely to see the international people as well coming on board. It's always great to see. My following is getting bigger and bigger, and that's why I said, if you've had a reading tonight and it resonates with you, and if you please want to leave me some like a review on my Ms Tique psychic medium page, that actually what is promotes and helps my business flourish there. I thank you all very, very much for joining. I appreciate you all being here, and as I always say, from my heart to yours, thank you and good night, and have a great rest of the week. See you Thursday. Bye, guys.